Good day to you. Let's discuss about what Upptalk is before we start the video. Upptalk is a live, interactive platform for the training of software that provides strong personalities capable of competing on universal commercial platforms. Watch this tutorial video for a breakdown of Workday HCM. Let's take a little moment to define Workday HCM so we can go on. Workday HCM is a cloud-based, human capital management software solution that integrates various human resource management functions into a single system. By watching this video, you will acquire knowledge on topics such as Own Company Subordinate Organization. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and check out our Upptalk channel for more videos about the newest technologies. Mr. Vishal, a certified trainer in Workday HCM, will be your guide through the material presented in this video. Please join me in welcoming him and getting down to business.
Today we were discussing about organizations, their types, supervisory organization being the primary structure for Workday, and the other type of organizations such as hierarchies, such as locations, such as other types of organizations such as cost centers and companies. So these are all types of organizations. So today we will start with a organization type. So generally an organization would look something like this in Workday. Like here you can see on the screen. Let me bring up my pen. So on the top you see Thomas Rickett as the organization's manager. So you see the manager name right here, and the name of the supervisory organization is right here, which is Chicago Cubs on the top. And then you have the designation of the person and maybe an address. Then you have this another organization name that is also managed by Thomas Rickett. So one manager can have more than one supervisory organizations. Then you have coaching, then you have designated hitters, then you have ballers. And these people that do not have an organization name on top of them are directly reporting to Thomas Ricketts under Chicago Cubs. And in this organization where you see ballers, you have a sign called 3. It means that under this ballers organization, Thomas has 3 more people reporting to him. All right. Now let's try to create our organization within Workday. Let's start with the company. So the first thing that I'm going to do is create my own company within Workday. So I'll start with, say, I'm logged in as Logan McNeil. So I've proxied in as Logan McNeil, who is the HR admin, and she has access to the complete tenant configuration and setup. So I'll start with the first task, create company. And let's say I created that Excel document yesterday. So maybe I can use this as our guideline. So VPHR, so these should come here and say director HR, manager HR ops, manager recruiting, manager training. Say operations executive, recruiting executive, and say training executive. So this could be kind of my overall structure for the company. So let's focus on today on CEO, VP HR, and let's create this organization and try to create this organization today. All right. So I'm going to put this on the side. Come back to it again. So I'll first start with the task called create company. And every organization changes, we have to create a reorganization event. And what that event does, it helps us organize and report and track whatever changes that I'm trying to do within that event. So I can refer to that event and run a report and see with that event what changes I made within the organization in that particular event or timestamp. So I'm going to create a reorganization event, and we're going to say put the date for say April 1st. So any changes that we do would be around 1st April 2022. So now I'm creating a reorganization event, and all the changes that I'm going to do, like create the superorg, assign organization, create subordinates, everything will be tracked under this reorganization activity or timestamp. So we select the reorganization event. And now we have the menu for creating the company. Now let's call it CF APR 20 CF company. Let's call it APR 2022. If I need to assign a code to the company, like if I am using a coding convention, for example, I want to code my company, say, 1. So my company is going to be, say, 10,000. So I want to call this 11,000. And if I need to add the coding mechanism and say, let's call this VPHR as a super could be, say, 12. That is, if you are using the coding convention in your company hierarchy. If you're not, it is an optional feature. If some customers would like to use them, some might not. So if you need to use them, you can use the codes for your organization hierarchy as well, or organization naming. So let's call it 10,000. Then I can select the type or subtype of the organization I'm trying to create. So it could be company, cost center, department, division, location, talent pool, or any custom org. As you can see, Tarvaram, Hari, Test, these are also created as custom orgs. So currently, we're going to select company. And if I want to show the code next to the name of the company, I can select this tab, include code and name. So it will say CF company April 2022, and it will show the code. If I want to show the code, I can do that. Visibility is who should this company be visible within the organization or within your Workday tenant. Can everybody see it? Or people who are assigned, who have role assignment to the company can see it? Or the role assignee and members should be able to see it? Or role assignee of current and superior organization? And we'll get into more details and have a better understanding of what I mean by role assignee, members, and current and superior organization. But currently, we're going to select everyone. If I have a URL for our company, like a web address, internal or external, I can create that. Otherwise, I can just leave it blank. But let's go ahead and create a URL. Say URL name could be CF company APR 022, and that would be created. Now, because I am creating a company, I have to assign the base currency for that company. So all the reportings from all the countries that I would be operating out of, it's going to be a multi-currency environment, then this company currency would do the conversion to the base currency of the company. Say if I'm operating out of Taiwan or India and my headquarters are in US, so it will do the auto conversion based on the rates loaded in the system, and it will show you dual currency based on the location that that worker is associated with. So for example, we are going to use, say, USD for now for this company. So we've talked about roles in the past, and these are some of the roles that are pre-populated for each organization. So you have business analyst, controller, owner. There are some other roles like Jaguar staffing, Jaguar manager, organization partner, and they're all assigned to the position of Logan McNeil. Now, I would like to see if there's a role for manager. So I can add that in. I'm going to use this, and also I'm going to apply it to Logan because that's the login that we are using for all our organizations or reorganization activity. She is a chief HR officer. And why is it assigned to position, you may ask? Because the position in a position management organization will remain. People can come and go on that position. People can move to a new position, they can be promoted, they can be transferred, they could be terminated and somebody else take that position. So when you assign a role to the position, it will not matter that who is on that position at that moment. So whoever is on that position, that person will be assigned the role automatically when you assign roles to the organization. So today it's Logan McNeil. Today it could be somebody else as well on this position 0004. And I press OK. And we have two errors. Assign role below 10. Okay, so this is an invalid role. We need to remove this. And now, as you can see, our company is created. There are 0 members currently in it. If I go on the details, you can see the company, that subtype is company. It is visible to everyone. The code is 10,000. External URL is this, and the company currency is USD. If I go to the roles and say, let me put it on descending. You can see that the manager role that we created is now assigned to Logan McNeil, and all the other roles are manually assigned effective 4/1/2022 because our reorganization event was effective 4/1/2022. All right. So in order to get this going, so we have created a company at the top level. Let's call it Center CF Company APR. So we have created our company on the top. Now I need to create an organization, a supervisory organization for the CEO or other CXOs as well. Currently, we are using VP, so we are not using CHRO or something like that. So it depends on you how you create your organization, how do you visualize it. You can change the titles of these roles as well. Now, first I created the company. Now I need to create a supervisory organization and then link it to the company. So create supervisory, and it will pull up from the search bar. I run this task. Again, I'm going to use the same reorganization event that I just created. So all my changes are tracked under that reorganization event APR. because it was effective for 1, so it should be here. 2020. There we go. See if April 2022 reorg. And let me copy this and put this in our Excel sheet as well. And I'm going to put this reorg event right here. As a note. So I'm going to call this my CEO organization. So or let's call it executive management. Management. And include organization ID and name. I don't want to do that. I don't want to assign a code, but I want to include the manager's or leader's name in the organization. So subtype is going to be department. Visibility, I would like it to be for everyone. Again, external URL is optional. If I want to, I can put the CF again, or if I have a specific URL for this organization, I can add it. Now, it requires me to identify the location of that supervisory organization as to where is that supervisory organization primarily located, or the manager's location. Now, I can use one of the existing locations, or I can create my own location as well. So let's go ahead and create our own location, which we can use right here. The task name for it was create location. Location name, let's call it, say, CF Hawaii. And location usage, it's going to be a business site, and I would like this to be a job posting site as well. And of course, it's going to be a ship to, sorry, I cannot do a job posting. So ship to, so I can decide on what usage this location is going to have. So it's going to be a business site, and it's going to be a ship to location. So I select that, press OK. Now I have to fill up all the location details. So it's going to be, say, my headquarters. If I have any attributes to the location, I can add them. Again, it's optional. Because this is going to be my headquarters location, I don't have a superior location to create the hierarchy, so I'm going to leave this blank. And for this, we can also use the CF URL. In North America, there is a thing called global location number that is assigned to organizations. And if your company has been assigned a GLN number, you can put it here. Otherwise, it's optional. Location identifier, if you have any specific identifier for the location, say HQ, and then you can put your GPS coordinates here as well, latitude, longitude, and altitude if you need to be able to do directions. Now, when you create a location, you have to have at least a phone number, email address, and an address. So let's try to add a phone number. So it will auto-populate the location based on the where we are currently. Say 47-801-2443. And this phone device is going to be, say, a telephone. And this is going to be my primary number. So at least I need to have one primary phone, email, and address for each location. And I can use it for billing, remit to shipping, or if I need to add some more or reduce the items, I can do that. If I have any comments, I can add it here. And is it publicly visible, the location? So I can add that mark. I have the capability of adding more phone numbers as well, but they would not be primary, or there could be only one primary number. Say I add an address, say 477 on the port. Say Honolulu, and let's say zip codes for say it's 96816. Say I put a wrong zip code, what happens then? County NA, not applicable. Or I can just leave it blank. Again, I have to mark it as primary. So do keep in mind, I have put a wrong zip code here. And now email address, say contact us at, and what is a time profile? We'll look at it. So whenever you're talking about a time profile, it means that how many scheduled weekly hours you have per week. Generally speaking, in the United States, it's 9 to 5, so 8 hours per day, 5 days a week. So you have a 40-hour per week time profile. So I can either use my existing time profile that is already built in the system, or I can create my new one. So let's go ahead and create our own time profile as well. Some of the countries have regulations like France. They have a 6-hour per day work week per day. So it's 6 5 30. So it will be a 30-hour time profile. Some countries may offer 25 hours. Some countries may offer 35 hours. Some country may require 50-hour time profile. So depending on the location you are in, and you can create your time profile accordingly. Mm, All right, maintain time profiles. And say I add it here. CF 40 hours time. I'm trying to keep the naming convention similar so we are able to identify from the list of things that we have. And now we can set up the, say, 40 hours per week, schedule weekly hours. This schedule weekly hours is important. It is important for your time in, check out, payroll calculations. So this is going to be the baseline based on the location that that member is going to be associated with. So now we've created a time profile. It should be in the list. Let's verify. There you go. So we have this here. I can use this time profile in this tenant. The locale is going to be, say, United States. So all the date, time, currency, all those formats will be based on the locale. So if I'm in Japan, I use Japanese locale, then the language, if supported by Workday, and all the currencies and information will be in the Japanese language. Similarly, you can, all the currency, date, time formats will be based on Japanese. And these are the languages that are supported by Workday that a user, depending on which location they are in, they can see the Workday interface in these local languages. So currently we're going to select English. Location default currency override. So it will pick up as United States dollars. Country's default currency is currently empty, but it will, once we create this location, it will default to US dollars. If I need to override this, I can override a name. Say CF business site external name. So currently our location is not created, CF Hawaii, so I cannot do default job posting location. So this location can be used to when you're posting your jobs. Say United States. I'm going to add it to this hierarchy. Location hierarchy is to add, and I press OK. And we have an error. Remember I said that 77082 is not at the correct zip code. So it does a zip code validation based on the state that we are in or we have selected. So 96812. So if we go back here, contact information, in the address, I put the correct zip code 96812. And now CFY location has been created. I'm going to copy this. Referring back to our Excel sheet, we're going to call it executive management. Or let's call it executives. Include manager leader. I'm going to call it a department, not a company. It's a department, visible to everyone, CF. And primary location is going to be Hawaii. Now we come to the options below. So staffing models, so position management and job management. We're going to discuss in details between the differences and why one is selected over the other. But for now, we're going to use position management, enable. Again, assign roles that we had similar to the company. So who are going to be the managers, the cost center managers. So a couple of roles that I believe are important, I'm going to add them in. So manager. So I'm going to select this one. And HR partner. And say compensation partner. And I'm going to assign all these roles to currently to Logan's position. Because we don't have anybody in our company that has been hired. So we're going to use Logan. And the rest of them, I think there was one that was giving us an error. Let's see if it gives us an error here as well. So we can then remove that from our role assignments. Again, you'll see a lot of duplication in the fields here in the tenant, and maybe you get the same tenant in your profile, or you may get a different tenant. But don't worry about that, because these tenants are being used by you and me and many other sessions as well. So there's a lot of activity going on in these tenants. Next is going to be the organization assignment. So we have created our company, CF APR. So I'm going to put that company here. We have not created a cost center, region, division, a program, or any type of customer organization, but I'm just going to link it up with the company that we created, that this supervisory organization. The company is for this superorg is CF Company April 2022. And if I have any specific identifiers issued by the government for this supervisory organization, I can add the government ID, the identification, say USA. Say if I have a tax ID or alien card or anything like that, I can add those here. Again, these are optional. If you want to add it, you can. Otherwise, you can ignore it as well. And we have an error in assigned roles. If I click on the error, because some people, some of the roles here are erroneous and they are creating an issue. So I need to remove these. Make a note of these. So which are they? So manager 011, let me copy this and put this in a notepad. Great. So now our supervisory organization has been created. It's executives that we created. If I look at the details, I'll say it's a supervisory department, everyone, the company URL, and primary location is Hawaii. If I go to staffing, I will see the staffing model as my position management, and the role assignment would be, let's just here, all the roles that we have assigned or got inherited or pre-assigned from before or from the tenant. And we also added our company information here in the supervisory organization. Now I'll jump up to the second layer, which is the management. So we renamed this to executives. And let's call this executive management. Now, because I have created my primary organization, I can go ahead and use the task of create support, or I have an option here within the support where I can do a reorganization and create subordinate organization, because this is going to be in a hierarchy. It's not going to be standalone organization. So I'll go to create subordinate. Effective date, say 4/1. Organization name is executive management. I would like to include the manager's name. I'll select the organization subtype again as department. External URL, if I want to put it in, I can. And I will use the same primary location that I created for this executive management as well. And here you will see that the staffing model, role, assignments, and everything is not displayed here. And I'll tell you the reason why. I press submit. And now my subordinate organization is created. Now let me go back to the organization. And now you can see I have somewhat of a hierarchy. So my top level organization is executives, and the subordinate organization is executive management. Now in executive management, we had in our Excel sheet HR, sales and marketing, operation and legal, right? So let's create our subordinate organizations. So I go to executive management, go to reorganizations, create subordinate. Say date is going to be 4/1. And let's call it human resource. Include manager's name. Again, this is going to be a division or department. Primary location CF Hawaii. Next is on the same level in the executive management, I have sales and marketing. Right. So if I go here now, I will see two subordinates. One subordinate of human resource under executive management, and the superior is still executives. Now at executive management level, not the human resource level, at the executive management hierarchy level, I again go to the related actions, go to reorganization, create subordinate, assign the date, and next is sales and marketing. So sales and marketing. To manager's name and code. And again, this is going to be a department, and this is based out of Hawaii. Now, as you can see, under executive management, we have human resource, sales, and marketing. Similarly, I will create subordinate. Next is operations. Next is legal. Now I can create the subordinate organization with the reorganization task as well, like create subordinate, or I can also create it similarly like I created the supervisory organization as well, and then I'll assign a superior to it. So let's go ahead and do that. So CF 2022. So again, you will find multiple ways of doing a task. It all depends what suits you and how you want to approach that challenge or problem statement that you are addressing. So the last one is say legal, and say let's call it legal, include manager's name. It's going to be a department, visibility. Now you see that because I'm not creating a subordinate, I have to put in all the information as well. CFY, position management, assigned roles. So I'm currently assigned roles and organization assignment. I'm going to leave it as blank because it is going to inherit from the superior organization once we assign the superior to this organization, which is legal. So I'm going to leave it as is, not make any changes, though it will give me an error. We'll have to refresh this page again. Give me one more. Let me get rid of this error so we don't get into this issue again. While it's pulling that, let's try to create our supervisory organization again. legal, include manager's name, department, everyone, CF Hawaii, position management, and we go here. We have to remove those roles. And let me see if I can remove them from here so they don't show up. So it is self-assign. Security groups. There are 1,290 roles created in this tenant, so it does become a little okay. The third one is let's press OK. While it's doing that, so we are not going to make any changes here in the organization assignment or assigned roles. Let's try to press OK. Still giving us an error because this is not submitted as yet. We have removed this. Apologies for the delay. Sometimes it does act weirdly. Let's try to submit it now. Let's see if the error still continues. Awesome. So now we have created this standalone organization, and you can see that there is no subordinate or superior in the list. Now what we can do is assign a superior to this organization. So again, if I go to reorganization, assign superior, and our superior organization name is executive management. Right? And we keep the effective date as 4/14, executive management. We have so many of them. Okay, so let's go to the CF company, try to get the exact reference ID. CF company. And sorry, our soup org was EXECUTIVE. There we go. And we want to add them to the executive management. So I can get the reference ID, the organization ID, and I can add that here. Oh, sorry. There we go. And now we are going to submit this. So now this standalone supervisory organization that we created is now part of the hierarchy. So you see human resources, operations, sales, and marketing. And if I refresh this page again, you can see that now legal is also added as part of the subordinate organization. All right, so I'm going to take a break here. So this will gives you an idea as to how you create your company, how you create your hierarchy. And on runtime, we made some changes. We created the supervisory organizations like executives and executive management. And under executive management, we created HR, sales and marketing, operations, and legal. So tomorrow, we are now going to start creating the third and fourth level of organization, and we'll start creating positions within these organizations. So we can hire people on it. So as you can see, today we have created our company, location, time profile. Then we created our top level supervisory organization as executives. And then we created the executive management where we created legal, operations, sales and marketing, and HR. So tomorrow we will create the subordinate organization that will handle all these, and we'll start creating positions in these. We can hire people on this. Make sense?